guys, it's Evie. It is DIY Sunday. I saw this really awesome pin. I was gonna do just a regular Dreamcatcher because I do a few of those kind of on and off. But I saw this other one that, here, I'll show you a picture right now. Okay, so that's the picture. It's pretty much, it's two inside one, but one of them looks like a crescent moon. So if I could get my words straight in my head. Anyway, sorry I bumped the table. What you're gonna need for this is, you can find these in any craft store. Usually they're with the cross stitch stuff. So you're gonna need two of these. You're gonna need a smaller one and a larger one. These are ones that I already had at the house, so it kind of worked out. And it's gonna end up sticking together like this. You're gonna take your suede wrap, which is this right here. It comes on a spool, and you're going to pretty much wrap this over and over and over and over again until you get it to look about like this. Clothespins or little pin thingies like this are amazing for this kind of project because it can come unwound really easily if you take this off. And obviously we don't want that to happen. Just for time's sake, I already went ahead and wrapped the majority of this. What I did, you see right here. Oh, look, my eye. I wrapped this one first, and then to wrap this bigger one around it, I went ahead and started from the inside of this one. To complete this wrap, I went ahead and connected it to the bigger metal ring thing. Pretty much what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up taking this wrap, and here, I'll take this off of it just to kind of show you. It's super easy to wrap this. It's just really time consuming, which is a big major part of why I went ahead and wrapped the majority of this. You just kind of in and out, just like that, and you twist it around. You don't have to get it super tight because when you get the sinew, you can get this at the Hobby Lobby and Michael's too. It comes in a really big thing, and what's great about it, if I can find, where did I put it? Now the sinew comes, like, I'm going to wrap it around my finger so I can kind of show you. It comes pretty thick, if you can see that, kind of compared on my nail, but it comes apart really easily. See how it's in like 3 different things? And I usually, for my dream catchers, I like to make it pretty thin, about like that, because you can get a regular bead, or you can put a seed bead, or whatever you want. And see, it's thin enough that it can go in that super tiny little hole. I'll put it like that so you can kind of see it. Of course, the suede wrap, or you can use leather, as long as it's pretty much this kind of string. Or I mean, if you can find a branch that you can make into a circle, or however you want to do it, go ahead and do that too. It's just kind of whatever works for you. Alright, so what I've done is I've tied the sinew right here. And notice how it goes in between this little groove left by the suede string. What you want to do is you want to take this and go, and you're going to stay pretty close to this when you do your first ring. So you take this and you put it like so, if it'll participate with me. What I usually do is I'll put it around, and then so it's kind of looped, like, I'm getting kind of, you can't really see this. You see how it's looped like that? Then you're going to pull it taut so that it goes inside one of those little suede grooves so that you can't really see it. And then you go straight across again. I don't know how well this video is gonna do because I can't I'm having a hard time keeping, there we go. Alright, and then basically you're going to do it again, like I said, close to the edge. And I find that it's easier to work with it if you cut off a long piece and wrap it kind of like that, and then wrap a little bit around it, just so that you've got a chunk that you can pull in and out super easy, instead of having to tug a whole bunch of it all at once. You see how that's kind of doing that? You just do that all the way around. And if you do it right, you can make it catch one of those grooves when you're closing your loop. You see how it's kind of started like that? So we've made the beginning of our dream catcher. The next step, you see this line right here? We're going to take the end of the sinew and put it through. Not around our ring, but you want it to catch this string right here, this one right here. And then you get it to where it's, you know how we were doing the loop around that? Now we're going to be doing a loop around, but we're going to be catching these inside strings. You see that? Now, we're going to loop it. See where it's coming? It's coming from right here. You're going to go straight across to this string right here. See that? And you're going to loop it around that string. Don't pull it too hard, because if you pull it too hard, it pulls the knot up into the top and it doesn't work out. And then you take it and you go to the next string that we started right here. And you're going to do the same thing. It's like tying the first part of a knot, pretty much. You see how I've got it crosses like this? That's what you want it to do. And like I said, don't pull it too tight, but you do want to pull it taut. I feel like I keep getting my hands in the way. Alright, and if you come across this where it tightens itself, you just take your finger and just loosen it up a little bit. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna do the rest of this, and pretty much what you do is every layer or every straight thing, the way I took this one and attached it to this line, you're gonna keep doing that all the way around the circle until you hit the middle. So let's get alright. So like I said, now we loop the strings on the inside. You see that? And we do this all the way around. Luckily, with a smaller one, we could just stop right pretty much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave it about like this. And no, actually, all right, you see this one right here? We're going to take this and we're going to connect it to that, like that. And we're going to tie it in a knot. If you're making just a single dream catcher, then sometimes it's helpful to do the inside of the thing first. Oh no, don't do that. No, don't. Ah, there's so much string. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Ah, oh no. Okay, so you're gonna cut the excess of that off. So now we have the inside of our dream catcher. Just the string part. And finish wrapping around. Alright, so now we've got this clipped off. We've wrapped all the way around our bigger one. So we're going to take the end of our suede thing, and you see, can you see where those strings are? We're going to feed this suede part through the little one. And sometimes your suede will get kind of, since you've been twisting it, it gets kind of difficult, but, and then we're just going to wrap that. I'm going kind of around the sinew, or under, I guess. So I'm not actually pulling on these strings, I'm wrapping kind of around them. If you want to do it the other way, that's fine. Just be kind of careful how hard you pull that sinew, because it'll mess up the design in the middle if you're not very careful. I mean, I don't know, I have a thing for dream catchers. I always have. Okay, so we're wrapping. Yeah, I can't wrap. I was gonna, because I was gonna do a little play on words, but I can't. That would have been just be thankful that I didn't decide to try to rap right there, because yeah, I can't. I'm not even gonna try. Oh, that was kind of funny. I tickled myself with that a little bit. Pull it tight. And pulling it tight's kind of why I said be careful not to get it super into your sinew lines or weave, because it'll pull the design funky, and you don't want that. Like I said, this is the first double dream catcher that I've ever made, so you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit on, because I'm kind of figuring out the put it together part as I go. So let's just kind of, that's not as close as that. And the good thing about the suede is if you don't like how far apart the wrap is, you can kind of loosen it up and tighten it up. Alright, I guess I'm going to wrap this a couple more times, like, I guess I don't need that anymore either. That looks good, right? About like that? Sure. Okay, so we're going to take it and kind of like we did the sinew, make a loop and feed it into itself so that it makes a knot. We're actually, here, I'll put this thingy back on it again. Alright, tighten it up. The clip thing didn't want to work for me, so I'm going to excuse it of its duties. Oh my gosh, this video is just, it's almost a disaster, huh? Alright, what I've done, you see how I knotted this together? I'm going to leave this loose, because we'll use this as one of our feather things. So I'm going to leave that like that. Now we have to figure out how they did the hemp weaving. Okay, so really? Okay, so we've got the inside of our dream catcher done. Now I guess we're gonna do the wrap for the crescent moon. It's kind of hard when the pen doesn't have a here you do it this way kind of thing. You've got to look at it and kind of figure out what they did and how they did it. So anyway, I tied it with a knot, just like we did with the sinew for the inside of this. So I'm guessing I may have to unravel this. So I'm going to take this and thread it through. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. That's the whole problem with having something that's details. Alright, and I'm going to thread it through like that, and then just pull it. The thing you got to be careful with loose hemp, like this, because it comes in a roll, so it does this, and it'll get tangled up super easy if you're not careful. So kind of keep an eye on your loose part as you pull it through, so it doesn't knot up on you. If anybody has any tips on how to keep it from knotting up when you're doing this stuff, I would love to know, because I do a lot of hemp jewelry, and it gets kind of frustrating when it gets super tangled up. Alright, so we're gonna I guess we just do that. And thread it. Sorry, widget. And then just thread it and go all the way around with it. Using the inside ring. Lord. Using the inside ring as the other part. So I'm going to sit here and do that for a minute, and I'll show you when we get to the end of it, and we'll figure out how to secure it. Because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me go in and out, in and out, in and out, weaving hemp through a dream catcher. So, okay, now that I figured out what's going on, we're going to do this over and over again. Pull it tight. Like, see how I have it? And I'm pulling it over the top one. And then threading it through out of the top one. So you've got a whole loop around that. And then into your smaller one. And pull that through. Okay, I'm going to pause this and do the rest of this. Do you see kind of how it's going now, though? How it's wrapped? Oh, look, that's a really good way to show you. See how it comes around this and then down and then up and under? That's what you're going to want to do all the way around. So I'm going to work on this, and so you don't have to sit here and stare at me and watch me do it. I'm going to pause the video, and I'll be back soon as I finish wrapping this part, okay? Alright, now we've got this completely wrapped all the way around. I doubled up because doing it the first time, it just didn't look like enough. And then I wrapped it around here. So what we're going to do is, see this suede part? We're going to take our hemp and tie a knot, if I can get it to cooperate. And we're going to tie a knot with the suede and the hemp. But we're not going to cut the hemp just yet, because we're going to use it to hang our feathers from. So we're tying a knot with this. And actually, we're going to do a double just because it makes me feel better. Alright. And we used quite a bit of hemp for this, if you'll notice, because I had that big, huge, long string. Now it's down to this. So you're going to want quite a bit to do your wrapping with. We're going to put feathers starting right here and probably right here and right here, just so it's symmetrical. The first feathers that we're going to do on this side, we're going to do against the suede, I guess, because we've got to have a reason that we didn't cut that off, I guess. So, and I just realized that all these pretty little rock beads that I had, we didn't use them. So we might use them from this part down if I can get it to attach itself to the hemp. The holes are kind of small, so that's why I was originally planning on using the sinew, but I don't know, we may be able to, well, maybe not. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have some wood beads that, I bought specifically for hemp because it's got a bigger hole in it. For the side with the suede, you're definitely going to need one with a fairly decent sized hole so you can get the suede into it. This might help. Get the suede and cut it kind of at a diagonal. That way you've got a skinnier part. Can you see that? See how it's got a skinny part at the top? Yeah. Alright. That way it makes it easier to go into that little hole right there. You're still going to twist it. And as you twist, kind of push down on it. You see how it's finally kind of sticking through there. And then kind of use your teeth or needle nose pliers or whatever makes you happy to get that first one on there. This out from just a picture has been kind of interesting, as you probably saw from all the fast forwarding. It's pretty time consuming to make one of these, but once it's done, it's really pretty. I've been watching Audrey Hepburn movies and Marilyn Monroe movies the last couple of days to kind of add to my research for my Thursday topic. I'm going to be talking about kind of my thoughts about the whole Marilyn Monroe as a huge role model, and I feel kind of like the lack of conversation about Audrey Hepburn as a role model. So I'm researching that, and that's what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. All right, what I'm doing is I'm taking the hemp and I'm wrapping it around just the edge part to where I want my other feathers, like the middle feathers to be. I wrapped it like that, so it's going to hang from right here. This one is going to be a little different because it's coming off with the suede. I really didn't plan on that, but kind of is what it is at this point. Okay. And another thing, kind of double check, make sure that you've got all of the exact colored beads that you want. Because I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it's kind of frustrating to get almost all the way through a project and then realize that you don't have enough beads to match. And I'm kind of weird. Like, it doesn't have to match, but, well, technically it doesn't have to match, but it makes me feel better when it does. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut about that much of this suede off. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and get a couple of our feathers ready. Because you're going to take, obviously, this part of the feather and you're going to stick it into the bead right there. You see that? Alright. And I'm actually going to put 2 in this one if I can. And then usually how I seal these is I'll take a clear nail polish and put a dab of clear nail polish on the very end right here, so that it'll hold. We're going to cut the suede off right at the feathers. This one may actually end up being kind of more like this, which I know wasn't our intention, but sometimes it just doesn't go the way you plan for it to. So, okay, and you can use however many beads you want, however many, just a couple, a whole crap ton of them, just kind of whatever makes you happy. That's one of the things that I really love about arts and crafts is it's kind of up to you how things look in the end. If you want to do something completely different than what I did, if you want to use pink suede or blue suede or no suede and wrap the whole thing in hemp, which I've done a dream catcher like that, where instead of wrapping the metal ring completely in suede, I used hemp, and I did it kind of in a design like you would do for a hemp necklace, which I may end up doing a DIY to show you guys how to do that. That's actually, it's another one of those, once you figure out the pattern, it's super easy to do. It's just one of those, it's time consuming and it's monotonous, but it's something like you probably saw with the fast forwarding, and sit down and watch a movie and do it. So I put 5 beads on this, and now we're going to take our feathers and we're going to do exactly like we did with the suede. The only thing that I'm going to do different with the hemp is I'm going to wrap it around the feather a couple of times, or feathers a couple of times. You can't see what I'm doing. There. I'm going to take the feathers and stick them. I'm probably going to go into the 3rd bead with it, with the long one. You see how that's like that. And then I want to put another shorter one in there, just because I like the aesthetic of it. Stick it in there. Alright. Oh, it's puffing up outside of that, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm going to take the hemp and I'm going to wrap it around the feather a couple of times. See how I'm doing this right here? Putting a loop, and then I'm going to pull the string through, or the hemp through. That way it gives it kind of a knot-ish. Oh, it slipped again. Actually, let's do this. Alright, take this bead right here and wrap the hemp. Do like this. And we're going to tighten the hemp around this little last bead right here. See how I did? Like that. I'm getting a little frustrated, but it's okay, because I'll figure it out one way or another. One way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way. Maybe next day. Ha! Got you to stay that time. See? Just had to sing to it a little bit, I guess. Alright. So we're going to take our feathers. And stick them in those beads right there. And wrap this around it a few times. Just because it makes me feel like it's more secure. It might not be. But there we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the end of the hemp And because these beads have fairly decent size holes in them, I'm going to go up and rethread through them. Maybe. That's the plan. Now we've got this one done. So I'm going to take the hemp and go through one of these little spots. And I'm going to pull it, but I'm not going to pull it too incredibly tight, because if you pull it too tight, then your beads misbehave and do that. Now I'm going to take the hemp and start going back through some of these little holes, and we're going to loop over to this other side so I can put the beads over there too. Alright, I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to do exactly like we did with the other side. We're going to put the feathers in the beads. And then put it through just one of the random places back here, just kind of whatever works for you, because obviously your weaving isn't going to be the exact same as mine, so it's just wherever you can get it to work through this, and then just pick a place in the back where you want your knot to be. Probably what the best way to do it would be in the middle where that suede thing is, because you can hide a knot a little easier in that, on that middle part, or just what it looks like on mine anyway. Take it and loop it through like that. Pull it tight. A good way also, other than just tying it in a knot, is using clear nail polish or super glue. That usually holds it really, really well. We still have to super glue this center feather where the suede is, so we may actually put a little bit of that on that knot right there, just to be make sure that it's gonna stay. Alright, so there's that. Scissors, and I forgot my clear nail polish. Good job, Sticky Star. Alright, 2 seconds and I'm gonna grab it. Just 2. Just wait right there. Don't go anywhere. Just right there. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I have this nail art sealer that's fantastic for sealing art projects too. Just get it, don't wipe it on the side of the bottle, ladies, like you usually do to paint your nails. You want a good glob of it on there. Trying to not put it over my laptop, but you want a good drop of it because it soaks into the hemp. And then we're also gonna put, shake it up, we're gonna put some right here, let it soak into that feather right there. On that side too, just to be sure. I'm putting it a little bit up on the bead, so alright, so there is our Dreamcatcher. It didn't turn out exactly like I thought that it would, but it's still a Dreamcatcher. It's still pretty cool. It's still really pretty. And guess what? If you didn't notice, I filmed during the day today. Who'd have thunk that I could do a video during the day? We can take some of this, the sinew that we used for the inside of our smaller dream catcher, and since we made this our center, put it through right here, and you can do this however long that you want it. I usually like it just a little bit, because that's really, I was thinking about putting it on the rearview mirror of my car, but that's a little bit big, so this will probably be wall art. Okay, and leave it through, tie it in its little cute knot a couple times. If you want, seal it with the nail polish. If you don't want, then leave it like it is. And really, you could even do this with your hemp too. You don't have to use the sinew. I prefer to, because I feel like it gives it that Dreamcatcher look. But you know, it's crafty stuff, so you can do it however you want. Okay, and voila, we have our Dreamcatcher. I hope you enjoyed our DIY today. I know a lot of it was fast forward stuff and monotonous stuff, but it's just something. It takes a lot of, here, I'll try to, there we go. It takes a lot of doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over again, and I figured you didn't want to watch me do like an hour's worth of that, like my live stream was when I painted that compass, which I apologize for taking so long for. But it's not exactly like the picture, but that might be a good thing. So here's what we did. Super proud. Yay! Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I've had a couple of responses for some DIY stuff that it's food related, so it's gonna have to wait a couple of weeks. We've kind of hit a hard time right now, so I'm trying to get my page set up to where I can do fan funding, because it's kind of getting to a point that the fan funding is kind of donations to kind of help me get supplies for the DIY, or that's pretty much it, because so far I've been kind of working with stuff that I've already had at the house, but the couple suggestions that I've had for new DIY stuff, I don't have the supplies for. So if you guys want to help out, I'm trying to figure out how to get the fan funding card on here. Normally I wouldn't ask. I feel kind of bummy for asking, but kind of the nature of the beast, I guess, right now. So anyway, I hope you guys tune in on Thursday. I've done a lot of research about this, and it's something that I feel very strongly about, the Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe topic. So I hope you guys tune in on Thursday. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks, guys. Bye.